Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs session. So we have a few articles today, it won't take much time. First one, reservation in India. So there was a big article in the Hindu. So we will see in detail about the reservation, from where it derived, right? So all the provisions that are being implemented. So we will see in this article. And then nutrition guidelines. So this may be not very important for those who are preparing for the lower level of exams like group 3, group 4 in state PSCs or maybe SSC CGL. So this is not very much important, but for those who are preparing for civil services or state PSC higher level of exam like group 1 where there is a answer writing, so this article becomes very important, right? So if you are preparing at the lower level of exam, you can just see what actually this is and no need to remember about those facts and figures, right? Then Trichoderma aspergillum. So this is again very important, a new intervention or new invention by the Punjab Agriculture University. So this is very important. Next, Krishi Integrated Command Control Centers by Ministry of Agriculture. Again, this is a scheme of the Ministry of Agriculture. This is also important. And then there are some factual pointers and finally practice questions. So this is part of polity. This is part of polity subject, and then this is part of social issues as well as health, right? Then Trichoderma aspergillus, so this is part of agriculture, that is geography. Then Krishi Integrated Command Control Centers, again the same, agriculture as well as geography or schemes also, right? So very few articles we have because of elections and all, there is not much articles has been published in the papers, right? So I hope my voice, video, everything is clear, and without delay, let's start our today's session with the first article. This is a big article a little bit among all others. So very good evening, Santosh, Ohendila and Keshav, Malini, Srinath, everyone. Let's start the first article, that is reservation in India, right? So what actually is a reservation? Or affirmative action, we call it as an affirmative action as well. Historically in India, if you are a person who are familiar with the ancient as well as medieval history, certain castes were discriminated. Like we were having Varna system where it was in the 4 layers and then untouchables were kept at the bottom, right? So Brahmins was kept at the top layer. This was Vedic. Of course, we are still following it, right? If you are a socialist student, you might be aware about it. So according to Vedic system, we have 4 layers: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and then Vaishyas, and then Shudras, then Avarnas, we call them as untouchables as well historically. So these lower, especially these 2 layers, were the people who have struggled in the history, right? So because of discrimination, because of lack of education, lack of employment, so there is a lot of things has happened. We cannot discuss them, it's take hours to hours, right? So because of this backwardness among these layers at the bottom, they were given with reservation benefits in terms of education, in terms of employment. So the additional benefits, right, creating certain percentage of jobs as well as employment, education seats separately for the bottom layers was considered as a reservation, right? So this itself is being derived from the Article 15 and 16, right? So this is about the reservation definition. Now, from what is the context, why we are taking this article? This is because recently there was elections going on and the parties, whatever, all the parties like BJP, Congress or whatever the sub-state parties, so they were being debated because of the reservation. Some people are saying that we should take out reservation, we should promote reservation. So there was a lot of debate. I'm not going to discuss those political part, and you also as a person who is preparing to enter into the government services, you should always be a neutral, right? So it is always should be a balanced stand you should take, and let it leave to the political or political constitutional makers like or the legislators, whatever, they let them leave to those debates, right, to them. For us, it is only the constitution, what is prevalent is important for our exam, fine. So this is about the context that we are taking. Now, from where this reservation concept is being taken? From the Indian Constitution. There should be a law, there should be a constitutional provisions if government want to follow the reservation criteria, right? So from where this is being derived? There are 2 articles, Article 15 and 16 in the fundamental rights. part 3 of Indian Constitution, where the first provision says that we should not discriminate anyone. We should not discriminate anyone based on religion, caste, class. So there should not be a discrimination. So they are saying against the reservation, right? So the top provisions or the first provisions in these articles clearly says there should be equality among all the people. But these articles itself give some exemption. They says that everyone should be equal irrespective of caste, religion, race and all, but there is an exemption. They themselves are giving certain exemption that the sections OBC, scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, whatever, the government or the parliament, if it feels that there need a reservation for the bottom sections, can give certain seats separately, can derive or can reserve certain seats separately for these sections. So the article itself is giving exemption to the equality. So these are the provisions where we are deriving the concept of reservation, right? But right to reservation is not a fundamental right. Supreme Court in many cases says that it was given Parliament to take measures for the advancement of the bottom sections, but it is not the fundamental right. Nobody can claim, like I can go and ask the Supreme Court that my reservation is being denied by the Parliament. No, I cannot claim any fundamental right, but it is a discretion given to the Parliament. If you want, if the Parliament want to make certain measures to the certain sections, it can be women, it can be OBC, it can be SC, so whatever you feel, you can take it, right? Or you can give it. So this is what the Supreme Court has said. Fine. So that is one important provision related to the constitution and the reservation. Now, this is the existing quota of reservation in India. At present, we are having 59.50 reservation being given in India total out of, say for example, there are 100 seats or there are 100 education seats or employment seats. So 60% approximately are reserved for these categories, right? We will see about EWS also. So first, for scheduled tribes it was 7.5%, for scheduled caste it is 15%, and for OBC it is 27%. And recently in 2019, government also bought, I mean the Parliament also bought an act, right, to give 10% of reservation to those people who are in higher caste, who were otherwise considered as a OCs, right? Right, there is no reservation earlier, but now yes, out of economical backwardness among the OCs were also given with 10% reservation. So this is the present existing reservation percentage. Now, so you have new, we have discussed what is reservation frame, where it is deriving, and then who can get the reservation, that is also we have seen. Now there is a case which was reported specifically for OBCs. The article also talked about Indira Savani case. So in this case, there was a lot of judgments or lot of measures to give reservation for the OBCs. Earlier, when constitution was made, there is no reservation for OBCs. Only scheduled castes and scheduled tribes were having the reservation, right? So government has bought the reservation for other backward castes, castes, and then this was filed as a case that this is against the constitution, article 15 and 16 to give reservation. Constitutional makers only gave reservation for SCs and STs, but OBC reservation is a violation. So someone has filed, some petitions has been filed in the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, through the case, Indira Savani case, has observed certain things. That is also very, very important for us. First thing, it has upheld the 27% reservation for OBCs. Fine, OBCs are certain castes which were backward, so government can take that measure. So it is a valid, there is no invalidate in that, so it is valid. Fine. So this is one thing it has observed. And second thing, they talked about, I mean the Supreme Court has pronounced that caste is a determinantal factor for the class. For example, I may be from caste A, or I may be some other, maybe caste B, right? So this caste is having, this caste is, say for example, higher, right, in the Varna system. This caste is little bit lower in the Varna system, in the Indian context. But the people who are in this caste are richer. Though they are from lower caste, but they are richer. And this is a higher caste, but they are poor, right? So reservation is being only given to these people, but not to this particular caste. So Supreme Court said that reservation is not an economic criteria. If it is poor, so it does not matter to give reservation. Our constitutional makers has given reservations only for based on the caste discrimination. It is not about the economical backwardness, but it is because historically they have struggled. So to rectify that, we are giving. So it is a social concept. It is not an economical concept. There is no such economic reservation in Indian constitution. It is only of the social concept because of their discrimination, because of their backwardness, not just economically but socially they are backward. That's why the reservation is being given. So they have strike it down that economic criteria is not the one for the reservation. It is of social concept, right? So this is one important observation. Also, it has upheld that reservation can be done only up to 15%, so 50%, until unless there is an extreme necessity. So 50% should be capped. Beyond that, we cannot give reservation. So the people who are competing with the merit, they may be affected. So that's why it has capped that the total reservation that we can give is 50%. Fine. So only in the exception cases they can increase beyond 50%. So if you observe here the reservation, the present criteria, it has gone beyond 50%, isn't it? 59.50% it has gone, right? Now, yes, one more thing, we will come to this point also, that why it has crossed. Now it has capped at 50%, but why it has crossed, we will come to that point also. We will see the judgment, few more pronouncement of the Indira Savani case, right? So it also said that not all OBCs will get reservation. It has given 27% reservation can be given to OBCs, but it is not for all other backward castes. Rather, their income should be less than 8 lakhs. So at present, the criteria is 8 lakhs of their family income or less than that. So only those other backward castes are eligible to get this reservation. Similarly, if it is government employees children, so this also very confused for people who are applying for central jobs from OBC category, whose parents are from the government employees. So if your parents, if any one of parents, any one single parent, if he is occupying at a group A level or group 1 level job, then they won't get reservation. Even if they are crossing 8 lakhs, right? If they are under group 3 or group 4, even if it is 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, they can get the reservation. But those government servants who are at the time of joining, not at the time of hosting the post, at the time of joining. For example, a person has joined in a group 3 level. Now after 25 years, he is in group 1 position. His son can get reservation because they started with group 3, right? So in case of only if at the entry stage, if any one of the parent is from group 1, then they won't be able to get the reservation, right? So even if other like parents where income is not a criteria for the government employees until unless they are from group 1, or if they're both the parents, father and mother, if they entry at the group B level. So if single parent is from group 1 only, then only they will not be eligible. For example, a father is group B and a mother is housewife, then they can get the reservation. But only if single parent, any of the parent is of group 1, then they won't be able to get. And if both the parents are from group B officers, then also they won't get reservation, right? So this criteria was given by the Supreme Court. For the government employees also it was made like this, right? Now in 2022, in the Janhit Abhiyan case, in Janhit Abhiyan case 2022, Supreme Court upheld, validated the economically EWS, economically weaker section reservation. So we have seen 10% was given, and it has observed that yes, it does cross 50%, but as we have seen, as we have said in Indira Savani case, in exceptional case we can give more than that. So this Supreme Court has considered as an exceptional case. This EWS reservation of 10%, it considered as a exceptional case. So it has upheld in Janhit Abhiyan case, this reservation is fine, and also it said that economic criteria can also be based on the reservation. In Indira Savani case, they said that not economic criteria but social criteria only is for reservation. But in this Janhit Abhiyan case, they have voted and they said that yes, economic criteria can also be considered as a part of the reservation, right? So this is a very important thing to be understood. Now, is this clear until now? Any doubts? We'll move to the next one. I mean, the same article itself, we have few more discussion. Is this clear till now, what we have discussed? Please do respond. We will move ahead if you have no doubts. Any doubts? Okay, we'll move ahead with the next, the same article, but we will go a little the next one. The subcategorization of reservation. As of now, we have uniform reservation of 27% for OBCs, right? So there are number of OBC castes across India. Great, thanks Sonitala for the response. So we have a uniform reservation. So there are number of castes. So anyone can be considered as a OBC. So there is no particular subcategorization. Within OBCs, we have certain castes which are in higher, which are in lower, right? We don't need to name those castes and all. But anyway, there is a data that certain within OBC, certain castes are in a higher position, certain castes are in the lower position. So this OBC reservation is being cornered by certain castes only. Only few castes are enjoying this 27% of reservation. So we need to also push the lower sections of OBC category. So that's why the government has appointed Rohini Commission or Rohini panel to consider for the subcategorization of reservation. So within this 25%, 10% will be given to those lower OBCs, right? So they will redistribute. They will categorize all the OBC castes into 3-4 layers, and then they will give more out of this 27. They will go more to the bottom OBC sections and then less for the already advanced OBC sections. So to subcategorize that, the government has appointed, and we have a data that 97% of OBC jobs are being cornered by just 25% of castes. So that means there is an unequal enjoyment of the OBC reservation. That's why government has appointed. Of course, it is yet to be submitted the report. So we have to see what will happen in the future, right? So the same case, the proofs, these are all the proofs where there is, the OBC reservation is not being equally distributed among all the OBC castes. And still there is a demand also for SC/ST categories as well to subcategorize the reservation, right? So this may be also considered, but as of now, there is no such creamy layer concept also here for SCs and STs. So anyone, even Prime Ministers, Prime Minister or any IAS officers also, sons, they can enjoy the reservation as of now. So there is no concept of creamy, non-creamy layer. So there is a demand that even we should redistribute this reservation among the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes as well. So we have to see what will happen. So this is about the, So this is about the reservation article. So we have a very good discussion on this particular article, and any type of question can be asked. They may ask you directly fact, or there may be statement based. So any questions are possible from this article. Fine. Now next article, nutrition guidelines. Oh, as I said earlier, this is not a very important for those who are preparing for the lower exams, right? But yes, for civil services or state PSC higher level of exams, this is very important, right? So we'll see the context. National Institute of Nutrition. We will see about this institution also. This is very important. This particular about this institute is very important for everyone. So National Institute for Nutrition, which is located in Hyderabad, has given guidelines regarding the nutrition. So you all know you might be having fried rice or Manchuria, Chinese food, which is not very healthy for our health. So it said that, we will see what it said, different provisions are there. So this is a very important, even if it is not for exam, but for your health it is a very important article, right? So understand what is happening in India and how we can come with this solution, right? So understanding the background. So in India there are increased cases, not only in India, of course, all over the world, but India is having higher population. So in the recent times there was an increase in non-communicable disease. Non-communicable disease are those diseases which can spread through because of lifestyle differences, right? It cannot spread through direct contact, but these are caused because of lack of diet, proper diet, or lack of exercise. So these are the examples. You can see diabetes, cardiovascular or like heart disease, right? Chronic respiratory cancer. So these are all the non-communicable diseases, right? So because of increasing, it has studied that non-communicable diseases are increasing in India, and that was linked to the diet that we are following. What we are following is the reason, what diet we are following is also contributing for the non-communicable disease. That's what the report has said. So this has published the proper guidelines what to eat for women for normal case. So what we have to eat regularly, what to mix up our nutrition, it has published a report, right? So try to remember and don't order biryanis and all regularly, fried rice and all from your restaurants, right? Try to cook your own food in the house, and it is a very important to enhance our life style in a proper manner. So it is a very important to have a nutrition food, right? Yeah, so this guidelines has estimated that the total non-communicable disease, for example 1 lakh non-communicable disease are being, 1 lakh cases. Out of that 56.4% of cases are because of dietary improper diet, unhealthy diet, right? So we can reduce the number of cases in India of non-communicable disease if we can promote the healthy diet, right? So this is one important, very, very important provision to be remembered. Now, so the healthy diet and physical exercise can prevent. So if you are doing daily some physical exercise and then proper diet, we can reduce 80% of diabetes in India as well as the world as well. So we can contain the heart disease and diabetes if we could able to do these two things, proper diet and then the daily physical exercise, right? So what guidelines it has given? So what to be eaten, what those provisions are mentioned is also important. You can quote in the answers if you are writing the civil service or state public service commission exams. So for children and mothers, it said that until 2 years of age, from the birth to till the 2 years of age, if the diet is properly maintained, in the future there will be a less amount of disease for that particular child. So first 2 years of dietary plan is a very, very crucial for both mother as well as child, right? So this is a other important observation it has made, that first 2 years of the baby is very, very important, right? And there is a undernutrition including the micronutrient deficiencies. So it has observed certain challenges in India's diet. One is lack of micronutrients like iron. We are taking macronutrients, the calcium and all, but we are ignoring the micronutrients. So this has to be taken care. And then there is also obesity. Obesity means higher weight. So because of higher tummy, higher amount of foods that we are consuming, we are having higher tummy, right? So all these things are leading to the obesity. Fine. So it has also found there is a bad cholesterol among 37% of children. The children that we are having now in India at the ages between 5 to 18. So approximately 37% of children are having bad cholesterol, which may lead to heart disease in the future, right? So this is also other important observation. Then good cholesterol is very, very low among 25% of children. 1/4 of the children, they don't have good cholesterol in a proper level. So this is also one more observation. So these numbers you can remember if you are writing civil services examination, but for those who are writing solely of objective examination, it is a very not important. So this is the data given by the report for different ages, right? Children from 1 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 19, how there is a percentage of obesity, pre-diabetic, diabetic. So all these were given, right? So you no need to remember too much, right? Just 1 or 2 facts you can quote in the answers, right? Now for after mothers and children, there is a dual nutrition challenge. They may ask you this in the exam. What is the dual nutrition challenge? It is nothing but we are undernourished, under nutrients or undernourishment plus obesity. We are having excess weight of the people, or we are having lack of nutrients. So there is a case, there is no balance. Either there is a higher amount of obese people, they are consuming a lot, or the people who are undernourished. So these are two twin challenges, double nourishment challenge. We are having higher obesity, people who are consuming more or who are consuming less. So this is what India is facing. And there are two such disease we have eliminated. The article mentioned about these two things. You have to remember also, they may ask you this in the exam. Marasmus, which is caused due to the deficiencies in the carbohydrates and proteins. So marasmus is a disease caused by lack of carbohydrates and proteins in our food. And then kwashiorkor, so this is caused due to the deficiency of proteins alone. So we have eliminated this, we have made disappeared from our country, but still there is other challenges like anemia, iron deficient. So anemia type of diseases are there. Fine. So general dietary principles, it has given that we need to mix up rather than consuming continuously rice or wheat. We have to diversify. We have to consume meat, we have to consume fruits, we have to consume eggs. So try to mix up and don't use the processed foods like packed Lays, kurkure, all these things. Try to ignore them, or else you will also face such issue, right? So we should have a proper dietary health by consuming these all in a proper manner. In India, we are consuming 50 to 70% of our food from cereals like rice and wheat, but we are ignoring the pulses, meat and all. So you have to make a balance. So this is what article says, right? And it also asks to reduce the salt consumption, less than 5 grams per day. Now our Indians are consuming 10 grams, 15 grams, and it may lead to the blood pressure, BP, low BP or high BP. So we have to manage, we have to consume salt less than 5 grams per day, or else you will face the health issue. And also processed foods should be ignored. I mean, we should eliminate them to consume. And elderly people should consume more rich in calcium, micronutrients, all these things. Fine. It is a very generic thing that we need to have a healthy food. Fine. Now the last one, that is about National Institute of Nutrition. This is a very important for you, for anyone who are writing the exams. National Institute for Nutrition, right? So we will see about it. This is a public health body which was created for the research and development in related to the dietary plan. So it will collect the diet information of Indians, and then it gives the data to the policy makers like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Food Processing, or for the Parliament. It gives report, right? It is under Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR. This is body under ICMR, and it collects the dietary information and then gives this information to the policy makers. So accordingly they will recommend or launch the schemes to take measures related to that. Initially this organization was launched in 1918 by Robert McCarrinson for beriberi inquiry. So beriberi is caused by the deficiency of thiamine, B12, right? So this was launched specifically to take care of thiamine deficiency, but later it was shifted. I mean, earlier it was in Tamil Nadu, right, created by this person during British time. It was then shifted to Hyderabad, and in 1969 it was renamed as National Institute of Nutrition. So beriberi inquiry was the organization name, but in 1969 it was changed to National Nutrition Institute for Nutrition to take care of all the dietary plan of Indians and then give information for the policy makers, right? So this is headquarters at Hyderabad currently. So all these facts are important for our exam. Any doubts in this? So my suggestion is you should consume proper food, proper diet, right, to maintain proper health. Any doubts in this? Okay. If not, then we will move ahead to the next article. This is a very important one, Trichoderma asperillum. Trichoderma asperillum. So the context is Punjab Agriculture University in Ludhiana has developed a new biocontrol agent. Bio means life, control means life control agent. So it is a application. So here bio means the fungus, right? So in this particular article, bio means we take care of the fungus. Fine. So this was developed to control the Bunchnay disease or foot rot disease. We will see about the foot rot disease also, don't worry. So to control this disease, foot rot or Bunchnay disease, any name if they give, right, you have to remember, this is a disease caused to the basmati rice. Basmati rice, and of course for other thing as well, other types of the things as well, but specifically it is 90% is affecting the basmati rice, and it is caused by fungus. It is caused by fungus. We will see the disease as well. So the context is Punjab Agriculture University has created a new biocontrol agent called the Trichoderma aspergillum to control this foot rot disease or Buchanay disease. Right? Now what is this disease about? This is a disease caused by fungus at the roots of the plants. Of course it will spread to the other parts also, but it starts from the roots. You can see here the normal root and then the affected root, the black color, and it will become very weak. It becomes very weak, right? So this is caused by fungus called, the name Fusarium verticillioides. Fusarium verticillioides is the fungus which is causing this disease, and this is affecting the basmati rice crops, right? So this is a thing. So it affects the roots first, and then it will make the roots dry and the whole stem will also be damaged. So this is the disease about. Now farmers do certain measures. They use early seedling treatment. Usually this fungus is more, it grows more well in the higher temperatures, like in May, April, they try to grow higher. So farmers try to do it much early so that to avoid this fungus, or they will clean the seeds. They will clean the seeds well so that this fungus will not attach these roots, right? So this is some measures being taken, but they are not very efficient. What farmers are doing is not very efficient. They were not able to control this fungus. So that's why there is a measures. Earlier we were using Trichoderma hercynium, and then we are also using Sprint 75. So we are using these two. The new intervention, remember, Trichoderma aspergillum, but earlier in place of this we were using Trichoderma hercynium and Spirit 75. So these two are chemical in nature. So these because of utility of these things, there are chemicals in the rice being left over, and then this is being rejected by the other countries, right? Because of the chemicals present in the rice, they are not accepting. So that's why the Punjab Agriculture University, they have discovered the Trichoderma aspergillum, a new biocontrol agent, and this does not leave any chemicals. It is a chemical free biocontrol agent, right? So they may ask you this thing, and it was proved that it was having excellent result without any chemical left in the rice, as well as very efficient in producing the or avoiding this fungus as well, right, which is called red rot disease as well. So this disease also is being skipped, and also no chemicals left. So this may be asked in the exam. What is that recently introduced? Any doubt in this? Have you understood? So we will see briefly. So there is a disease called as foot rot, not red rot, that is for sugarcane. Foot rot disease is there, which was affecting the plant, the basmati rice specifically. So farmers were trying some natural methods, and then earlier we were using some other chemicals which were leaving residues in the rice, and that is being rejected and also very harmful for the consumption. So that's why Punjab Agriculture University, they have introduced Trichoderma aspergillum, which is a chemical free and also avoids the foot rot disease. So this is the article about Trichoderma aspergillus, right? The last article for today, Krishi Integrated Command Control Centers. It was already launched in Thiruvananthapuram also. We have discussed 1.5 months before, if you could able to recall. It was first launched in the Thiruvananthapuram, but now it is being launched in the New Delhi as well. Krishi Integrated Command and Control Center, right? So what is this about? It was launched by Ministry of Agriculture, which ministry also they will ask you in the exam, right? And what is the objective of this Krishi Command Centers? So you all know farmers are not very aware. They are not educated also, they are not literate also, right? So because of that, they are using either high amount of pesticides, fertilizers, and then water, right? And they don't have information also about weather. So sometimes it may be high rain, sometimes it may be low rains. So they were not aware about all these things related to the agriculture. So that's why Ministry of Agriculture has launched integrated command control center where all the data related to the agriculture, how much in the last season it was produced, how much fertilizers can be deployed, how much pesticides can be used, right? So they can know everything information related to the agriculture before or after, even after harvesting also. You can see here. So this is the information center. Everything related to the agriculture will be put in place, and there will be government officers, of course, to assist. And even farmers can connect directly even to the ministry also. The Minister for Agriculture, they can directly call to the Ministry of Agriculture and officials here also to help, to take any help, right? So this is the objective. It was launched by Ministry of Agriculture, right? And then the everything related to the agriculture information, like new technologies, what technologies can be deployed, what moisture should be maintained, how much pesticide should be used. So everything will be made available at a single place, and farmers can take this information, everything like temperature, rainfall, everything they can take, and accordingly they can grow, right? And as I said, farmers can directly call to the Agriculture Ministry itself to take the information, right? So this is about the brief explanation about the article. There is not much need to know. You just need to understand the mechanism and who launched this, right? So those are the articles for today. Now let's see some factual pointers. Any doubts? Okay. So the the factual pointers for today are: there is a report released by World Economic Forum called Amplifying the Global Value of Earth Observation Report. So we have a lot of satellites, right, in the space, Cartosat, Risosat, right? We have a number of satellites which are observing the Earth, but still there is no proper accuracy, right? They cannot able to exactly estimate the disasters or weather events. So that's why this report is suggesting that we need to enhance the global value in the Earth observation. So Earth observation is nothing but it is collecting all the information related to the Earth, weather, greenery, right, vehicular movement. So everything related to the Earth can be observed using the satellite. So to promote that value addition, a report was released. So this is a very important report. Next one, about the Butge crater. So crater means a depression. So if this is the surface of Earth, if anything hit on this ground, a big meteoroid, so there is a depression. So now it becomes like this, right? So this is the crater. Fine. So there was a news about Butge crater. It has revealed that it is growing every year. The depression is growing every year, right? It has revealed that this Butge crater is increasing every year. So that means it is becoming bigger, right? So this is located in the Siberia region in Russia. So this may be asked in the exam, Butge crater. And the speciality of this is, it is the world's largest biggest permafrost crater. Permafrost means any ground, for example, this is wherever, like a small ground, taking as an example. So this is melted with ice in the Siberia or higher latitudes. So this is completely covered with ice. And before that, was covering with ice, there were a lot of microorganisms like algae, bacteria and all. So all together they have accumulated because of strengthening of ice, because of lower temperatures. All the ground materials that here located has become a ice. And after few years, because of this excess heat, this will get melted, right? This will get melted and the microorganisms, all these things will come out. So this permafrost is a ground which was earlier was been in the ice form, but now it is being softened, right? So this is what the crater is made of, right? So this is about Siberian Butge crater. Last fact for today, Shinkula Tunnel. Shinkula Tunnel. So this is going to be constructed by Border Road Organization. Border Road Organization. So this is being constructed for 4.1 kilometer length. So it is not yet constructed, but yes, if it is going to be complete, once it is going to be complete, This will be the world's highest tunnel, surpassing Mila tunnel in China. So in terms of altitude, higher in the mountains. So this is going to be highest tunnel in the world once it is going to be constructed. And where this tunnel is being constructed? Covering from Manila, right, to Leh. So it is constructed between Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh, Leh and Manila, right. So this is important, and the total kilometer is, the tunnel is 4.1 kilometers. Not the whole region is tunnel, it's just that one part we are constructing. Yes, here it is. One part we are constructing the tunnel, and if we construct, this will be the world's highest tunnel, right. The road of this tunnel is being between the Manali and Leh, right. Sir, how can farmers informed by group is by advertisement? Related to what, Ranjan? Is it related to the command centers? Already it's been launched to the ground level itself. The panchayats were also being informed about it. So farmers will be knowing through the local governance. So that's why we need to promote panchayats and all at the decentralized level. So we are informing them, right? So the government is informing at the lower level. I hope this is what you are asking. If still you are having, please do let me know. So that is of today's articles. Now let's see some practice questions from the topics that we have covered. First question: amplifying the global value of Earth observation report was recently published by. I am not clear with your query, Ranjan. Preview article 4. Please do elaborately ask the query, because I am not understanding what. Okay, previous article, that's what, integrated command centers will be informed by the government to the local panchayat. So they will be informing the farmers at the panchayat level, right. So what is the report of, who has released this? United Nations Environment Program, World Economic Forum, National Institute for Nutrition, Indian Space Research Organization. Yes, everyone have answered it as correct. It is of World Economic Forum. Next question. This is a little bit lengthy one. Take some time, take 1 minute and try to answer it. Which of the following statements about reservation in India are correct? Is correct. So out of the 4 big statements, there is one statement is correct. So identify that correct statement. Other backward caste reservation is implemented with 27% quota in both education and employment by the government of India. First statement. Okay, great, Ranjan. Yeah. Next statement, Indira Savani versus Union of India. Supreme Court held that economic criteria can be one of the reasons for the consideration of reservation. So this is the second statement. Rohini panel was appointed by Government of India for consideration of subcategorization of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So this is the third statement. Fourth statement, the 101 Constitutional Amendment Act brought 10% reservation for the economically weaker sections of society for admission into the private education institutions as well as central government jobs. So what is the answer for this? Rohini panel was not for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, it is for the OBC. So it can be eliminated, and this is also eliminated because economic criteria was mentioned in the Indira Savani case. It is purely of social basis, and this is not 101 but 103. 103 Constitutional Amendment Act has given 10% reservation. So yes, very simple, you have observed this. Answer is A. So other backward caste reservation is given with 27% reservation. Fine. So Santosh, Keshav, Malini, Srinath, Indila, Nagarjuna, everyone have answered it as correct. Next question. Which of the following statements about foot rot disease is correct? About the foot rot disease, which one is correct? It is caused by fungus Fusarium. So Fusarium Vetilocetus, a soil seed borne pathogen. So this is the first statement. Second, it is specifically found in wheat varieties of Punjab region. This is the second statement. Recently, Trichoderma aspergillum, a biocontrol agent, was developed by Punjab Agriculture University to control this disease of foot rot. So what is the answer? So first one is correct, it is caused by fungus Fusarium vetilocetus, and then it is not present in wheat varieties, but it is of basmati rice, right. So second statement is eliminated and you got the answer. If you eliminate second statement, you got the answer. So this is the recently developed one, right. So this is of the about the foot rot disease, fine. So these are the articles and then questions for today. So that's all. We have a very short session because of the less number of articles. I hope you enjoyed. Keep studying, keep preparing, keep following us, and have a great evening. Thank you.